Hey, what's up everybody? Jello back at it. 2019 Trailhawk. Today I'm doing spark plugs. This task can be a little daunting for the average mechanic or maybe a little less average mechanic. More advanced people, probably no problem. But there are a lot of steps and we'll get to it. Oh yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do. It helps us out over here. If you have already, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'm here to hopefully help you do jobs like these. All right, here we go. This is the 3.2 liter V6, FYI. First thing you do is pull this cover off. It just snaps down in there. Some rubber little grommet deals. Just pop it off. And then I'll point out all the connectors and hoses that need disconnected. All right, now that we got the little cover off, next thing I'm going to do is you got to isolate this hose, or basically get it removed from the upper intake or the air plenum. So you got, a little connector there, or this attachment there. You got to pull this guy off of there. You got to unplug the hose there. You got to take the electrical fitting off there, and you got to pull that deal out of there. And that's pretty much it for that hose. So let's go ahead and take care of that now. All right, this hose is pretty tight on there. I don't want to force it. I'm gonna go for this end right here instead. So twist it. Get that off. Same thing, you just want to get it off of there. Pull out that little deal there. Pull this straight up. And this deal pulls out of there. And that is now isolated, other than I've got a connector right here. Looks like that guy push that down and pull out. Let me show you that. So there's that little connector I'm trying. You gotta push this down and then pull it out. Sorry, one-handed. All right, I need two hands, but yeah. Pull push that down and then pull it out. It's out of there. That is now isolated. You take the plenum off, upper intake off, and that's not that's not in the way no more. All right, I'm gonna go for some more electrical connections. Let me point them out. All right, what you got down here is this one main harness. See this big harness coming up? Anything that comes off of that harness needs unplugged. So this guy will need unplugged. That guy. I'm pretty sure that guy will need unplugged. And what's that, 3? At least 3. 1, 2, 3 there for now. So I'm gonna unplug those 3. This top one here, I'll show you the details after I get them off. Pull that down. All right, pull all the electrical connections off. That one goes there. Everything goes back in one spot. It cannot be crossed. So that one. And there's some little holders that kind of clip on. Little pull pins here and there. Like right there. I pulled that one out. Just to kind of free this thing up. And there's that one back there. Got that one out. Right there. Another little clamping deal that clips onto the plastic there. I can't get this one out. I don't want to mess with it too much if I don't have to. I think I just push it. I'm trying to push it. Push that back little deal in, down, and pull it out. I'll try one more time. It might not have to come out, because once I get this intake plenum loose, it should swing out of the way. I'll try one more time though. Yeah, that was it. Just push that little guy down and pull it out. Got all that loose, so everything's free there. Now I'm going to go ahead and start going for the hoses. Looks like anything going to this guy. So yeah, that one's got to come loose. Just got to twist them. full wiggle. Alright, that one's off. Looks like this one's got to come off. I think that might be it. I already got that one off. Everything looks free there. I think that's it for hoses. I gotta get this guy. Alright, I got that hose loose. Right there. I had to put a screwdriver in at the end, a small one, just kind of break the seal. Pretty tight, I got it loose. So I think that's it for hoses and wires. Now I got, see that nut right there? Right there. I got to take that nut loose. And then there's another one. Right there. I believe that's it. Nope. Right under the hose. Right there. So right there. Take that nut loose. Take that nut loose. That takes that bracket loose from the upper intake where I can pull that off. So I'm working those two now. And then I see I might have to take these loose. That one. And that one possibly. Make it a little bit easier. And then there's 7 more in here. So you can see them down in there. I gotta take those loose. But before that, we gotta take all this contraption out. So we're gonna go ahead and go for this now. Take the hose clamps off both ends. I'll take this guy off. And then there is a pull pin. This is what I was saying. Some guys don't bother taking that thing out. Right down there. You gotta get that thing out of there. And then the back one, there's one also, it's not a pull pin though. It's just kind of rests in a grommet, kind of like the upper cover did. So you gotta pop that out, and then you put that pull pin out of there. It should just pull out of there. So I'm gonna start working on this stuff now. All right, just an 8mm socket or screwdriver. Get those guys loose. I did notice another hose here. I don't know. You just pull the clips off here in the front, off the upper intake. And you should take it loose here too. I haven't figured that clamp out yet, and I don't want to break it. I don't think I gotta take it loose. So I'm just gonna take the hose loose here and here. Here we go. Those are off. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. You don't gotta take this off. I could probably figure it out now, but we'll see. I might revisit that, I might not. I don't, whatever. All right, got that loose. Now I'm gonna go for that pull pin back there and try to get this guy off. And there's another clamp. Loosen that now. Another 8mm back here on this hose clamp on the throttle body. Get that son of a bitch loose. Oh, and if you're in here and you happen to have a spare walnut, you might want to take that out. That means there's a squirrel in here. Been a squirrel or a mouse trying to live in here. All right, now I'm going to go for that pull pin. All right, got that son of a bitch up. Pain in the ass. Of course, my smallest pry tool is gone. So I just got a couple screwdrivers in there and got it pried up and then just pull it out of there. All right, so that's out. That's half the battle. Now I gotta just pop the one in the back, it out. It's not one of these, it's not supposed to be. So let's see how that goes. Go. That's it. So it's made split. So it goes up and underneath that. And you put it back in. So that's it. Let me show you what that looks like. All right, so here's what a lot of people struggle with. Oh, I should get my flashlight. All right, so that guy right there, that split goes underneath the flange. This is kind of how it works. I believe it goes underneath. I'm gonna investigate that. Let's investigate it together. Could go. Oh, flashlight's about dead, of course. Ay. It could go on top of the flange, but I believe it goes underneath it. Yeah, I would say underneath it. I don't know. It only goes one way. Okay, there's where that upper plenum, or the air plenum, kind of goes on. So it's kind of confusing. I'm gonna show you the easy way to think about this. I'm gonna pop this off. It's a little ball in a socket. Okay. So there's what it popped off of. Let me show you where it goes. So here's the back of the intake. Okay. Or the air plenum, not intake. And that guy actually will go. Let me show you a side view. Okay. See that groove, that undercut right there? That's how it goes. Just like that. So push it all the way down in there. I'm gonna put it in there and show you. Hang on. Okay, that's what it should look like. It should have pulled out like that, what it should have did. You just rest it on that little ball and socket. So when I put it back in, I'm gonna put it back in just like that. Pop it back on there and nothing's broken. All right, so there's the back plugs. There's coils anyways. Plugs are beneath those, being the Hemi head design. And now I'm ready to pull the upper intake off to expose the other three. So that's what we're gonna do right now. You can't forget those 10mm on this back bracket. Two 10mm nuts we gotta take off. The steel bracket that's still connected to the upper intake. So we're gonna break those loose and get those out of here. And also the two in the front. All right, those are loose, we'll get those off. Make sure I show you what I'm talking about. Okay, remember under that hose you took off? There's that nut. And then there's that one. Let's take those two off. I'll remove the front. There's a couple down there we got to get. All right, we got that nut off the front. We got that nut off the front. Again, I don't know if those have to come off. They're easy. Just take them off, just in case. Got those two. That one back there off. Got this one behind the hose. That one's off. Now I'm ready to pull the 7 bolts out of the upper intake and pull that off. All right, I got all 7 of the upper intake, and they kind of stay in the holes. Just keep them in there. Got all 8 of them out. It was an 8mm socket and extension. This thing should come off. Oh, you know what? I think there is one more bolt in that rear bracket. Actually, yeah, I gotta take something else loose. All right, one more thing I left out. Okay, that rear metal bracket, we took the 2 nuts off of, boom, boom. See down there, that stud right there with that, it's a 13mm nut with that weird little wire holder on there. You gotta take that thing out. That'll make this whole bracket will become loose then. And then it'll allow the intake to be pulled up and off. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out now. I ain't gonna lie, that back stud to pull out was a pain in the ass. Got it out. Just got a little slack in it now. problem. Let me see what's holding that up. All right, also break loose that bolt there. So take that guy out. It gives the bracket a lot more play I'm gonna need. All right, got that goddamn bolt out of there. Now it should come off. I have to give that back bracket more wiggle room. Get those studs out of there. Here we go. Yeah, it feels like something's still holding it. Disconnect it there. Well, that should be it. There we go. Just had to be a little more aggressive with it. All right, got that guy off. All right, don't be a moron. Cover up your intake. Yeah, speaking of moron. Moron Nation, baby. Go on over, give 187 Customs a like on their page. Subscribe too. That's my peeps over there. So anyways, there's our coils. Rear and front. And that's what we're going at next. Get this thing out of the way. All right, it looks like we're gonna have probably another 10 millimeter. And I'll start zipping them out, gapping plugs. All right, 10 millimeter on the coils. Don't lose your 10 millimeter socket, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need that guy, I guarantee it somewhere. Don't lose it. So what do you think the standard equivalent pain in the ass socket is? If a 10 millimeters, the one everyone loses, they say a ½ inch. I mean, equivalent would be almost 7/16, but I think it's a ½ inch. It's more common. What do y'all think? All right. Get that out. Let's pull the coil pack up and out. There's your plug wire. I'm gonna get in there with the plug wrench and plug socket and pull that one out. I hate aluminum threads. Worst thing in the world. There it is. Yeah, time for spark plugs. I don't know if that'll focus. Let's see. Look how worn and tapered. Oop. There it is. Look at that taper on the strap. There's no way it's supposed to be like that, I wouldn't think. She looks pretty worn. As far as reading the plug, don't look too bad. So anyways, it's time for new plugs. So we're putting them in there. Alright, well I don't know the torque specs for these spark plugs. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to check what they are when I break them loose, just for double check. I'm reading 12 foot-pounds. That doesn't sound like near enough. So let's see what these break loose at. Oh, that wasn't very tight. Right. 16. I read 18 to 24. I'm going to go to 18. So, all right. That's that. I'm going to pull all these out and change those off. Also, the new ones, they say they come pre-gapped. Always check them. They come pre-gapped at 41 thousandths. This specific vehicle calls for 43. I'm going to go with 43. I am going 20. Go. Let me show you a little something. So I'm going with, like, I don't know how much of an extension it is, but I had to run the reducer for my torque wrench. But this extension, even without the reducer on there, it won't come out. It's a firewall. So you got to break loose the extension from the socket when it comes out to there to get everything in and out of there. Just a little tip. All right, got the back three changed. Go ahead and put the coil packs back in, bolt them up, and move over to the front. So there's always a debate on, you know, putting something on these threads, never sees or something. I don't like using nothing on aluminum. Just make sure they're clean. I mean, probably definitely not never sees. It's just, that stuff acts funny with aluminum. You really don't need it. If anything, just a light little bit of oil. I don't know. I don't put anything on them. All right, got the coil packs bolted back in. I'm ready to reverse the process. So here we go. I'm not going to show all that. I'm just going to go ahead and button it up and see how she runs. Only problem is I don't have the keys. My sister has them. This is her vehicle. I did check them 7 upper intake bolts with an inch-pound tester because they weren't even a foot-pound when I tried checking them. Actually, it's a 5 foot-pound torque wrench. So anyway, I just checked it with this one. They were about 20 inch-pounds. I would go 20 to 30, so that's what I'm going to do. Inch-pounds. Okay, just a quick little rundown. I did get the intake back on. Everything's torqued down to, I went 30 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. And then them 2 nuts in the front are back on. And then that bracket on the side. It's probably the hardest part of the whole job. It's not even that hard. Got one stud way in there I had to take loose. Right down in there. It's back in. That nut's back on. And that bolt's back in. And another nut back there, back on. So that bracket's back on. Now I'm going to start putting the back air plenum on. All right, got the air plenum back on. Went on real easy. As long as you get that little ball and socket grommet deal I showed you, everything just kind of just fit right on and plopped right in. Super easy. Put this guy back on and tighten up the hose clamps. All right, well there it is, all buttoned up. Should run good. She's coming over. The way the plugs were worn to me, it was ready for them. So, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you have, thanks. Like the video. All them things really add up and really help us out over here. So, see you next time.